Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds just posted a whole bunch of Deadpool 3 parody scenes in honor of his big Deadpool leaks post you probably saw on your feeds this morning, and part of it was referencing the original Deadpool test footage leaking back in 2014. Think about how long it's been since that. It seems like it's been forever. Ryan Reynolds made a couple posts about everything that's been going on with them filming Deadpool 3. This video is mostly going to be about the pictures, the scenes that he posted this morning as of me posting this video. Some people will be watching this video in like 3 years being like, what's he talking about? Ryan Reynolds hasn't posted anything in like a couple weeks. But a lot of this goes back to the origins of the very first Deadpool movie that he's referencing in all of his posts. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. I will do more Deadpool 3 videos as we learn more about the movie. We'll get an official trailer pretty soon too. But if you didn't see it, early this morning, Ryan Reynolds posted, Deadpool began with a leak, so I'm joining in, but please don't overuse the phrase Deadpool leaks because it might screw up search results if anyone is actually looking for Deadpool leaks or Deadpool spoilers or perhaps Deadpool scoops. All very tongue-in-cheek, like yes, please post about this as much as possible with the pictures that Ryan Reynolds posted of parody leaks and scoops. When he says Deadpool began with a leak, he's talking about the very original Deadpool movie back in 2016, beginning because of a leak. If you don't remember the original timeline on that first movie, he's actually posted a bunch of jokes and parody videos about what happened with that.
Started as an idea. What if we made a Deadpool movie? There was only a few of us back then, and looking back, we had no idea how big it would become. So innocent, and yet the momentum that had started. Yeah, that was not really what we had in mind. Nope, that didn't help things. It was more of a hell no, to be honest. I mean, we eventually stopped asking. We have no idea how that happened, but I promise you, I'm looking into it. Well, once the movie got greenlit, I went on a massive coke bender. So 2016, that's a little hazy for me. They tell me the movie did well, though. 10 years into it, Phase 1 has exceeded our wildest expectations. You know, if you told me back then that one movie would spawn an expansive 2-movie universe, I'd have said that you were crazy. But here we are, with actual actors, a moderate special effects budget, and several low-level X-Men. None of the big ones, though. We gotta save something for Phase 2.
He doesn't totally get into the original timeline for the movie, like he skips over some of the early parts of them developing a Deadpool movie. It actually started back in the year 2000 at Artisan Entertainment. They acquired the rights to produce a Deadpool movie as a result of Marvel's bankruptcy in the 90s, where they sold off most of their big characters. Ryan Reynolds didn't actually start working on developing a Deadpool movie till 2004 with David Goyer, who he'd worked with on the Blade movies. Most people remember David Goyer as the person who wrote the Blade movies. He wrote Batman Begins, some of Dark Knight, some of Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. He was producer on the first Ghost Rider movie. He's done a bunch of comic book movies. One of the reasons why Ryan Reynolds started to develop that original version of the Deadpool movie back in 2004 was because he saw that they were making fun of him inside the Deadpool comic books. Like Deadpool was making fun of Ryan Reynolds inside his comic books, which he thought was pretty cool. They wound up having some rights issues with Fox because Fox got the rights to all the X-Men characters, and technically, legally, Deadpool was considered an X-Men character because he was inside the X-Men comic books. They get really into the weeds on who owns what character rights. It's still a really big thing with the Hulk movies right now, too, why Marvel has not done a solo Hulk movie since they've been doing all the more modern Marvel movies. Then in 2005, Fox expressed an interest in making a Deadpool movie, so Ryan Reynolds continued working on the movie behind the scenes. Then he had his cameo as Deadpool in Wolverine Origins in 2009, and the rest of the timeline basically plays out the way that you see it in his parody video there, talking about the origin of the leaks for that first movie. The studio that produced the Deadpool test footage was hired in 2012. They made that actual test footage that leaked out, but at the time, back in 2012, Fox didn't like it, so they just shelved the project, and it just sat there for a couple years till Ryan Reynolds himself leaked the test footage right before Comic-Con 2014, and it blew up all over the internet. People probably remembered, I even did a video about it on my channel back in 2014. That convinced Fox to actually greenlight the first Deadpool movie and get it made. So when Ryan Reynolds said the first Deadpool movie started because of a leak, that's the leak he's talking about. He's also posted several other parody and joke videos since then about discovering or uncovering who actually leaked the original Deadpool test footage, when in reality, he was the person that did it himself. Because at the time, he was the only person at the studio who had enough juice if things went south. Like if it went badly, he wouldn't get fired the same way that other people would get fired or retaliated against or sued. So this past year, when parts of a scene from Deadpool 3 started working their way around big websites, Ryan Reynolds posted about it eventually, just explaining why so much of the movie was being done practically instead of full CG to give it much more of an authentic look and feel. And he's right, like they are right to do it that way. He politely asked people not to freak out too much and the movie would be amazing. Like, everybody chill a little bit, the movie's gonna be awesome. Kind of like the version of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness that you probably imagined we were going to get instead of the one that we actually got. Like, bring all the X-Men back, X-Men No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home style for all those classic X-Men actors. And to commemorate his post, like the original Deadpool leaks, he dropped a bunch of his own leaks and parodies making fun of it all. This one is Deadpool and Wolverine behind the scenes with their stunt doubles talking to the Predator, like a joke about all the cameos in the movie, like, who's in this movie? What's the Predator doing on the Void Planet here from the Loki series? What's he going to be doing with all the characters? One of the other jokes here, too, if you didn't realize, is that Fox owns the rights to the Predator movies, which is why he's able to put the Predator in here. Like, see, we're doing all these Fox characters coming back. That's why the Predator is in the movie. If it wasn't clear, though, the Predator is not actually in the movie. Like, this is just a big joke that Ryan Reynolds is making. Some people probably saw this and actually thought it was real. Like, what? Part of the idea with all the cameos, like the X-Men characters coming back, you see the 20th Century Fox logo wreckage behind them in a lot of these scenes. Ryan Reynolds changed the title here from the 20th Century Fox logo to the Quibi logo, like R.I.P. Quibi. It also got pruned by the TVA, something that nobody will miss. But in the actual movie, it is the 20th Century Fox logo. It's basically them battling it out with a bunch of other X-Men characters from the original Bryan Singer X-Men movies in front of the 20th Century Fox logo on the Void Planet from Loki, which is meant to be a huge metaphor for what's happening in real life with Kevin Feige and the Marvel people getting rid of all the old X-Men movies and recasting the actors so that they can do new X-Men movies with a new version of the team. So the meta joke is that the old X-Men all got pruned. 20th Century Fox got pruned because it got bought by Disney, absorbed by Disney basically. And they all got sent to the Void Planet where everything the TVA prunes gets sent, where they're all surviving in a Mad Max-like state, this post-apocalyptic environment, repurposing all the other vehicles, the weapons that get sent there by the TVA from other Marvel movies and universes. For example, in this other scene here that Ryan Reynolds posted, the car behind Wolverine is a version of Red Skull's car from the first Captain America movie with blasters that seem like they're from the first Avengers movie. They could be from one of the other X-Men movies too. Most of the stuff that's in all the scenes that Ryan Reynolds has been posting are from the older X-Men movies and some of the older MCU movies, with the exception of the TVA characters, which are from the Loki series, which is more recent. But like Ryan Reynolds add the bag of cash here that he's holding, Mickey Mouse cheering them on is a big Disney joke. Like the joke being that they're only coming back because they're being paid so much money. Bags and bags of money. Look at it, everybody. The other scene of Deadpool and Wolverine fighting it out in front of the 20th Century Fox sign has Steve Urkel from Family Matters instead of the TVA agent. There's a BTS sign Ryan Reynolds edited to poke fun at one of the assistants in the movie holding cue cards the wrong way, like, hold it up. Someone else even edited an older version of Loki into one of the shots of Deadpool fighting Wolverine earlier during this scene. But this is like a really bad Photoshop, so like it's clearly meant to be fake. As far as I know, Loki is not inside this movie in any way. Like, currently, this is taking place after the events of the Loki Season 2 finale, so he's currently in the middle of the multiverse, holding everything together, kind of like a custodian of the multiverse. But if it wasn't clear, the reason Ryan Reynolds is doing all this is just because it's a joke. He's poking fun at all this. I think a lot of people miss the sarcasm in his post, just because Twitter or X is where sarcasm kind of goes to die. So they're probably done filming most of this outdoors stuff, like in plain view. I think a lot of people lose sight of that, like, no, like this isn't the entire movie. This is like 1 or 2 minutes of like a 2.5-hour movie at most. We will get some more details about the actual movie, and it'll probably be a couple months before we see the first big trailer. My assumption is they'll drop the first teaser trailer at the Super Bowl in February. If you remember, the original Deadpool movie came out around Valentine's Day, which is that second week in February, pretty close to when the Super Bowl happens. Even though they will drop traditional trailers like you do for any old movie, any Marvel movie, any comic book movie, any movie just in general, I'm hoping that they actually use some energy from the marketing campaigns on the first couple of Deadpool movies. Like, for instance, the marketing campaign on that first Deadpool movie is still peak. Like, it is still one of the best movie marketing campaigns from any kind of movie I've ever seen. And one of the beauties of situations like that, too, is that you can actually market the movie without revealing what's actually going on in the movie. Like, a lot of the promos that Ryan Reynolds did for that first Deadpool movie don't tell you anything about the actual plot of the film. And now that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is a big part of Deadpool 3, he and Hugh Jackman both together have done a bunch of promos and parody ads for stuff that has nothing to do with actual comic book movies, so they can actually do that together, and it'll be way, way better. So I'm hoping that Hugh Jackman also gets in on the fun too. He kind of did that with Ryan Reynolds' post this morning too, with him commenting on some of his recent posts about the fake leaks that he was dropping. Whatever cool and super weird posts they wind up making, whatever kind of weird promos they wind up dropping, of course I'll do videos for it. So if you have any questions or any special requests for Deadpool videos while we're waiting for them to drop the actual trailer, just let me know in the comments. The next real big thing that I'll be doing videos for will be for the What If Season 2 episodes at the end of December. We should get some more trailers for that pretty soon, and then after that we should get some trailers for the X-Men 97 episodes, but I don't think those episodes are supposed to drop till at least like March, maybe a little bit later than that. But we should start seeing footage for that when we start seeing actual official footage for Deadpool 3. Everyone click here for that other big Deadpool 3 teaser, and click here to learn about X-23 coming back. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.